Good morning, everyone. Okay, sorry I didn't get back to doing another video yesterday. Things came up and just didn't have a chance. I just wanted to show you, I did finish covering the pages that I started with you the other day. So there's our tab. Nothing special in them really. I'm just covering them with designer paper. I can go back and decorate whatever I want after I've finished putting on the designer paper. I made another tab for this one. And then this page here. Okay, so now we're up to the next page. And what I'm going to show you on this page is how to make a pocket across the bottom. So we are going to take, first of all, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to pull out more paper. I used all 6 sheets at that point. So give me a minute here to pull out another sheet of each design. Okay, now we have another sheet of each design. So I am going to, first of all, put a piece of designer paper down on this page, and then I will put the pocket on top of that. This page here matches the design on that page, so we can use another portion of the page, which I think I'll use these flowers down here in this corner. And we need to cut it 1/4 inch smaller than the white page, which gives us 5 1/4 inches wide and 6 1/2 inches tall. So this is going to go here, because then the papers will match. I like to match whatever is sitting next to each other. Okay. Now there's many, many, many ways of making pockets. I'm just going to show you a few here in the next couple of pages. And you can get the idea and then do what you like in your book. So we're going to make a pocket across this bottom section here. And I would say I want it to be about 3 inches up. That will end it here. Okay, that's a little less than halfway. And the designer paper is 5 1/4 inches. Now we're going to want to add 1/2 inch to the height of the page and 1 inch to the width of the page. That gives us 1/2 inch tabs to turn back. So I'm going to make it out of a piece of white paper. We wanted it 3 inches high, so we're going to cut it at 3.5 inches high. Like so. Then it was 5.25 inches wide, so we want to go to 6.25 inches and cut it at that point. Now we're going to score 1/2 inch on this side, turn it, and score 1/2 inch on the bottom, and turn it, and score 1/2 inch on this side. Then you're going to take where you have this little square in the corner here. You've got a score line this way and a score line this way. You're going to cut this little square off, but you're additionally going to cut, you're going to cut straight across like this, so that it's where the corner is, and it's diagonally on each side. So then you're going to cut this one diagonally, and you have a piece that looks like this. Okay? Then you're going to fold it over and crease it. And the reason that you cut it diagonally on the corners was so that you don't have an extra bulk here where they're going to meet in the back. Now you're going to take your score tape and you're going to put it on the tab. Now I only have 3/8 inch score tape, so I'm going to put 2 pieces on there so that the whole tab is stuck down, inside and out. If you had a 1/2 inch piece of score tape, you could put just 1 piece of 1/2 inch score tape there. Now, actually I forgot, but a lot of people will cut this part here at an angle as well, so that it doesn't show on the outside, just for neatness purposes. Okay, so then we're going to take our book, we're going to pull the score tape off of the bottom, you know, the paper off of the score tape at the bottom of the pocket. And we're going to line it up with the designer paper right across the bottom, like so. Then you can take the paper off of the 2 sides and press those down. like so. And you have a pocket. Now we'll just take a piece of designer paper and we'll cover the pocket. I'm going to use this piece of scrap here. Matches in color, and you're cutting it 1/4 inch smaller than the pocket. So that it looks like that. Okay? Like so. Okay, now on this side here, we're going to put a pocket that goes this way. I'm going to put a pocket that goes this way, down the spine, so that we can fit tabs in like this. You don't necessarily want to put it on this side here, because getting the tabs in there could sometimes interfere with the spine. So I always put it on this side here near the spine, so the tags go in this way, and if they stick out beyond the page a little bit, it's not going to bother anything. So we're going to take our piece of paper, and we're going to want to do the same thing. We have 6.5 inches. Wait a minute. We have 6.5 inches, and we're going to want it to be, let's say, 2 inches wide. So we want to cut the paper at 7.5 inches, because we want to add 1 inch to the top and the 1/2 inch to the top, 1/2 inch to the bottom, and we're going to want it to be 2.5 inches, because we want 1/2 inch across the side. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch here at 7 inches. We're going to score it 1/2 inch here at 2 inches, and 1/2 inch here at 7 inches. We're going to cut the corners off. Just like we did with the other one. And so we don't forget this time, we're going to cut this top edge off a little bit, just so that it doesn't show. Okay, then you're going to fold and crease them. And you're going to put score tape on it. Now, why I use score tape in some places and ATG in other places is because there's some places that you want to make sure that it's nice and tight and secure. Those are the places that I use score tape. If you're putting paper against paper and it's not going to have a lot of pressure on it, then you can just use the ATG. But anywhere that's going to get a lot of movement and stuff, you want to have a stronger tape. It will just hold up better. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a minute because we want to put a piece of designer paper here on this. I think I'm going to use this page here. So I will put it like this on here. Okay. So we need a piece that is 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. Excuse me. Okay, we'll bring our book back. First of all, we'll put down the designer paper. Okay, like so. Then we will tear off the paper from the long side first. And we will place it on the designer paper like so. Then you can tear off the paper on the top and the bottom. And press it down like so. So there you have a pocket that goes that way. Have one across the bottom, or you have one down the side. Now we're going to put the designer paper on. Okay, I think I'll use that piece. It needs to be 1 3/4 inches wide. and it needs to be 6.5 inches long. And we're going to place it here like this. Alright, I need to cut off, I measured wrong. Okay, it needs to be 6.25 inches long. That's better. So it will go there like that. So there we have a pocket that goes that way. You can put tags in there. Okay. Now on this next page, I'm going to show you how to make a belly band. So first of all, we will cover the page with designer paper. Which we will need 5.25 inches. Amazing how quickly I forget. 5.25 inches. By 6.5 inches. Now I'll tell you the logic as to why I used this part of this page when we had some pretty flowers here. What I'm going to do is this is going to be the background. This strip here of flowers is going to be the belly band. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 inches wide. And see, that will set on there and give a contrast on there, and yet they're matching. Now I want to put a fancy edge on the belly band, so I'm going to sneak over here real quick and get a punch. Okay, I've decided that I want to use this punch. It's decorative and will look very good on there. So I'm going to start at the top, which is a 12-inch piece that we have here. And then I'm assuming everybody knows how to use a punch like this. You just line up the pattern here and you continue punching on down. I missed. I went too far. Then you're going to turn it around and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Every time I do that, I always think there must be something I can do with those. I'm going to throw them away. I have so many little pieces that I've saved thinking there must be something I can do with those. Anyway, so there we have our belly band that's punched on both sides. So that it has a decorative edge. Then we're going to take our piece of paper that we're going to glue down to the book, and we're going to turn it over to the back. And I'm going to put a little mark